So I recently celebrated my 10-year anniversary at the organization I work at. And, it was kind of a bittersweet moment because I was also saying goodbye to people because I work at a health system and they had a $90 million operating loss this year. And they kind of pinned the blame for that on COVID, but also, inflation. Their claim is that the operating costs, such as supplies, salaries, wages, and benefits, have all gone up. However, the amount of money that they're being paid has not gone up. And that's very hard to imagine that would create a $90 million operating loss. And I don't know that I fully agree. I think there are some other things here. I don't think that the health system, health systems really forced nurses to wear masks during the pandemic, and not every nurse wanted to, and we lost staff. Some staff left, and then we hired agency nurses, and that was very, very expensive, and all in the name of COVID, right? And maybe they did what they had to do, maybe they didn't. I guess that's a debate for another day. I don't really know. I don't run the hospital. So the fact of the matter is, though, is that it was a $90 million loss, and that isn't something that's very easy to recover from. And so that leads us to today, where this was actually leaked, I think. University of Michigan's Michigan Medicine to buy Sparrow Health System. And so we're going to get bought out. Now, I kind of knew that this was going to happen. I felt like the writing was kind of on the wall. And I've certainly had some confirmations about this from people that I know. But here it is. And the sad thing is that many of us found out about this prior to our direct leadership finding out. So that's kind of sad, but not surprising. But the thing is over the past few years, I've really been thinking about quitting. And I don't know what's going to change now. This takes an organization that I've worked at for 10 years that certainly for the first half of those, for those years, I've really believed in and put a lot of my soul into. And, lately I've been a little jaded, and I kind of put that on management a little bit, although I feel like that's turned around now. But, there's this itch, and I kind of want to quit, and I kind of want to do my own thing. But it is hard to make that jump, and I have to appreciate what I have as well. I do have a good manager. We have just good leadership. I have good people that I work with, and I do like what I do. So, with that said, I thought it'd be interesting right now, if only for the sake of my own documentation, just to talk about how I'm feeling. And the feelings wheel, or the emotion wheel, is really a good place to start with that. And so, here it is. So we have these primary emotions: bad, fearful, angry, disgusted, sad, happy, and surprised. And I guess where do I land in this? I'm definitely a little bit surprised, but not so much. Maybe startled, because I kind of thought that this was gonna be like a year down the line. But that's about all there is there. Now, excited. I wouldn't say I'm excited about this, but that is an emotion I could experience depending on what happens. I definitely don't feel bad, I wouldn't say that I feel stressed or overwhelmed. I think that the worst case scenario, kind of within this like section, right, is that I could lose my job. That's the worst case scenario. And if I did lose my job, I could get in my car in the morning and I could go drive for Uber, and I could make enough money to get by, and it would be fine. I'm not. So from that perspective, I'm not stressed. We can probably cut back in some areas if we needed to. But yeah, so not really feeling overwhelmed. And I feel like I've already thought this through a lot. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because otherwise maybe I would feel overwhelmed. Now, fearful. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit nervous about what's actually going to happen, you know, because you don't know who's just going to come in and change everything. But again, I don't care too much. I feel like I should be more nervous, and I should feel a little anxious and overwhelmed, but you know, I'm not there really. Angry, you know, maybe a little bit. I am a little frustrated. Because I feel as though like leadership, and I'm just using this as like a general term. I don't even know who I'm really referring to. But I feel like, you know, like oftentimes our voices aren't heard, and you know, this money, this $90 million loss, you know, you can blame COVID and you can blame whatever you want to blame, but at the end of the day, leadership, that's who was in charge, right? And so I feel a little frustrated with that. Yeah, definitely feel a little frustrated. Let's have a look. Disgusted, disapproving, no. Disappointed, not really. Sad, nope. Depressed, no. Despair, I definitely feel a little bit powerless. You know, I would say powerless describes how I feel, because you know, I have relationships with those around me, and you know, those that are above me, I guess you could say, and I don't feel like I have any control as to what's going to happen. Now this entire structure above me is going to change again, and there's nothing that I can do, nothing that I can say. And even if I have something to say to, you know, my manager, for example, how much pull does he has? So, you know, it is definitely kind of a powerless situation. And I will say, you know, I definitely felt some grief when people around me left. I really felt like they let some people go. And sometimes it feels like it's like personal vendetta type stuff. And that's kind of sad. I will also say that I am a little bit fragile right now. You know, I over the past year, and things are getting better, but I definitely felt a little disrespected. So this isn't the best place for me to be with this. Now, as far as happy, I do feel a little happy. You know, optimistic and hopeful. I mean, I feel like right now I have to have things under control. But if I was to lose my job, I also feel like I would be okay, and that there would be another path that I would want to follow. So, I'm sorry, I keep rubbing my eye. I rubbed it, and now it's gotten worse. Now I keep rubbing it, and eventually my eye's just going to fall out. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I'm feeling. And so it'll be interesting to see, you know, a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line, what happens and how I feel then. And as I look back on this video, I'll be curious what I think about this whole thing. Oh my gosh, I should have never have rubbed my eye. Dang it. But yeah, so that's what's happening. I don't have any control over it. And we will see. We actually found out this evening. So we haven't actually been through a work day, and the whole team's just like, what the heck? And yeah, I think even our manager was kind of taken by surprise. Anyway, I'm going to go, oh my gosh, I'm going to go rinse my eye out. Gosh dang it. Should have never screwed myself over. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.